Sydney 2003. The global family of rugby union gathers for the start of the 5th World Cup. Over the next hour or so, we'll be showing the best moments from 2 decades of this sporting celebration, and where better to start than as an opening ceremony.
Rogers and Sailor looking for the first try! And Lyndall Sailor gets the debut try of Rugby World Cup 2003.
I have the greatest pleasure in declaring the 1987 World Cup tournament for the Webb Ellis Cup officially open.
16 years earlier, it was all very different. Eden Park in Auckland. The stadium wasn't even full to see the All Blacks take on Italy, but those that were there saw rugby history. Starting with All Black debutant and eventual player of the tournament, Michael Jones.
Fox in pass, and the first try scored by an individual in the World Cup goes to Michael Jones, and don't they just love it on Eden Park.
And in the second half came a try still regarded by many as the finest in World Cup history.
New Zealand have scored 48 points, Sam. They might be looking for 50. John Kerwin.
New Zealand ran in 70 points that day. The World Cup had begun as it was meant to go on. The World Cup has produced many special performances. Back in 1991, Ireland took part in a titanic struggle against the Wallabies. This was a quarter-final in Dublin, with Lansdowne Road packed to the rafters, but the home support failed to intimidate David Campese.
Line of them to Horan. Campese popping up in midfield. Tremendous run by Campese. Oh my word, what a superb try by David Campese. Out to Liner. Horan's pass beautifully in the space for Roebuck. Little and an easy try for David Campese then, his second try of this game.
Ralph Keyes only earned 8 caps in his entire international career, but all remember him for a kicking display that kept his team within touching distance. 3 points the deficit then, less than 5 minutes left, the score that no Irishman will ever forget.
Little kick in the space for Jack Clark. Clark gets the ball, now he's got support. Charging through is Gordon Hamilton. Has he got the pace to get there, the big flanker? Yes! Lansdowne Road erupts then as Ireland get that fantastic breakaway try by Gordon Hamilton. His first try for his country, playing today in his 9th international. And look at that score. The Irish are ahead by 1 point. Once again, this cathedral at Lansdowne Road goes quiet. That's a superb effort by Keyes. So incredibly then, with 4.5 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this World Cup quarter-final, we seem to be in for a major shock. Ireland leading Australia 18 points to 15.
But there was still time for one more twist to silence the crazed Celts.
Horan, the pass, Little to Campese, going for his hat-trick. Tackle short, Liner's in there, Liner scores.
Lansdowne Road fell silent. Australia went on to the semis, but they never came closer to defeat than on that day. In the same year, England and Scotland matched each other blow for blow in their brutal semi-final. Scotland, 3 points adrift with only minutes to go, were awarded a penalty almost right in front of the posts. English faces told their own story. The irrepressible Gavin Hastings wasn't going to fail here.
Well, there's nobody on the England side, I'm sure, believes that he'll miss this one.
He's too good and he's playing too well.
Hastings from under 20 metres. And he's missed it, would you believe it?
Despite holding the World Cup points record with 227, Hastings is still haunted by that moment.
Probably above any other point in my career, if I could change one thing, it would be to get that kick going 6 inches to the left of the post and miss rather than 6 inches to the right.
The 1991 final at Twickenham between England and Australia was shrouded with much discussion before kick-off. England's boring style of 10-man rugby had become a real issue, spearheaded by David Campese's jibes. This final in England's backyard was so keenly anticipated that even the country's two prime ministers had arranged a bet. The victorious nation's premier would have the satisfaction of presenting the loser with a signed ball from the winning team. Unfortunately, the hype outweighed the action, and Twickenham was treated to a dour game. The only try of the game scored by the Wallabies, playing rugby for which England were better known.
England in trouble here. It's a try. Looks as if it's Ewan McKenzie, the prop.
Then England decided to swap forward play for expansive rugby, and it brought them little joy. Australia went on to win 12-6. The land where rugby all began would have to wait for their World Cup glory. So old Bill went back to Australia for the first time. Prime Minister Major got a signed rugby ball. Ireland's 2003 game against eventual finalist Australia saw them stage a great second-half comeback, thanks to God, known outside his homeland as Brian O'Driscoll.
Yes, O'Driscoll! Did he get it down?
Yes. I call it yes.
He is a magician if he did.
Well, he only had inches to play with, but that's all the person of this calibre needs. You give him an inch and O'Driscoll will take a country mile.
4 points ahead, the Wallabies failed to heed the warnings, and again O'Driscoll found too much space.
O'Driscoll drop goal. It's good. 1 point the difference. Brian O'Driscoll, with a flash of inspiration, has ensured it's going to be a cliffhanger in the last 10 minutes.
With a point between the two teams, Ireland's starting fly-half Ronan O'Gara found himself sacrificed. On came specialist drop kicker David Humphreys, looking to steal the win with his boot.
Humphreys, has he done it?
And Ireland's chance for an historic win against Australia went as Humphreys' attempt sailed wide. In the 1995 quarter-final, revenge was the word of the day for England as they took on Australia, and the All-Whites began with an exquisite try of the finest running rugby.
Liner, little and then Liner again, but it's picked up by England. Now he has a chance for England. Guscott, that's Carling. Oh, he has the pace of Tony Underwood on the outside. Damien Smith will struggle to catch him. Damien Smith, will he get him? Damien Smith has missed him, and Tony Underwood will score. A great try to England.
Damien Smith may have missed his tackle on Underwood, but he soon made amends.
There's the launch. Damien Smith is the man coming in. Damien Smith goes up for it, takes beautifully and scores. Well, that was an incredible piece of play, that by Damien Smith.
The match was going to be won by the boot, with Liner and Andrew matching each other kick for kick, and with the sides on 22 points apiece, something special was needed to win the spoils. So, with only moments to go...
Now comes the release. Will we see a drop from Rob Andrew? He struck it well as Andrew. It's there!
Sometimes revenge can be very, very sweet. Kings Park in Durban had suffered badly from the weather, and for a while the 1995 semi-final between host South Africa and France had seemed in doubt. The game began 90 minutes late. With the rain still teeming down, this was never going to be anything other than a battle of forward attrition.
Jean-Michel Gonzalez throws, but it's won by South Africa. Van der Westhuizen. Conditions not ideally suited for the scrum half, the Quicksilver scrum half, but it's ball one now. Rousseau, helped on by Peter Durant and Ruben Kruger, and the whole South African pack chase him on over the goal line. South Africa close to scoring here. And France hold the onslaught just for a moment. Kubas-Visser. Bodies piling over. How can the referee see? The referee has given the try underneath a melee of bodies.
Kruger's score gave his side a 4-point lead. France needed a try with their last attack.
Again the chip to test Andre Hubert. Hubert loses it this time. This is Benazi who goes forward. They're over the line. Benazi not given the try.
A matter of inches literally separated the two sides. The Rainbow Nation found themselves in the final at first attempt. The French were yet again left thinking, how did it all go wrong? New Zealand and Wales, two small nations with a big rugby heritage. Their final 2003 group game saw red and black cross the line in free fashion to the joy of 80,000 ecstatic fans in Sydney.
Howlett's there, and so is Rokotoko. There it is for Thomas. Oh, he lost it. Chances on. Thomas was too slow. There were 3 men over. It's still there. Taylor, here's a try. Thorne and Rokotoko's with him. One man to beat. He can do it. Can they stop him? What a reply. Marshall plays on quickly. Rokotoko's outside, but he's not needed. Leon McDonald gets the third try.
Cross kick.
Here it is for Ali Williams, the big fellow. Can he play Aussie rules? New Zealand rules. This is Williams. Oh, what a step. How about that? Shane Williams. He's Gaston. And here it comes for Shankland. Oh, wonderful. The Kiwis got it. Sonny Vargas. The Welsh Dragon looking for their third try. And they're asking huge questions here. Chavez. Oh, yes. No one in front. This is Sweeney. Chavez in support. Colin Chavez, the captain. Yes. Sweeney just short. Here it comes. Thomas. There it is. It's that man, Williams.
When you scored that try, you must have thought, this is on. We can actually do this.
Yeah, that's about the only, the first time I thought, well, these are beatable, They're not invincible, as everyone thinks. And, we showed that today. Really gutsy performance. And after that, yeah, of course we thought we had a chance.
That chance and Wales' 34-33 lead soon disappeared as the Kiwi might prevailed.
Doug Howlett. Spencer all the way. Marshall and Howlett. That is brilliant. Spencer and Major. And that is the game set and cash for the All Blacks.
Wales scored 37 and still lost by 16 points. In every sport, there are days that don't go to plan, as the All Blacks know all too well. The class of 2003 was supposed to be world champions, but at the semi-final stage, arch-rivals Australia had other ideas.
Ruben Thorne, describe for us the match that ends a dream tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking, you know. Can't really felt the preparation. We thought we worked well during the week, but they got away to a great start and just defended, we just couldn't get back.
The game hung on a first-half moment.
Intercepted. Mortlock. They have gained it. Make hard work of it. Rockadoko's chasing, but he can give up. Mortlock gets the first try. Length of the field against the run of play.
For Carlos Spencer, huge disappointment for the All Blacks.
Obviously pretty disappointed, but we were beaten by a better side on the night, and they played rugby and we didn't. They seemed to shut us down in all parts of the game, and I just felt like we had no ball, and when we did get the ball, we turned it over. So credit to the Aussies, they played well tonight and they deserved to win.
Message for the fans, Ruben?
Yeah, thanks to everyone who supported us. We're really sorry, but couldn't quite get it.
Final score, 22-10 to Australia.
He blows his whistle, and the Wallabies are the first team in history to qualify for 3 Rugby World Cup finals. They have just smothered New Zealand out of this game.
The crowd's gone berserk, and New Zealand are gutted.
Argentina usually punch above their weight at the World Cup. In 1999 came their finest hour. They met Ireland in a playoff for a place in the last 8, and a frosty evening in northern France was ignited by the South Americans.
Albanese is there! Diego Albanese.
That try and 23 points from the boot of Gonzalo Quesada put them into a 4-point lead. The last few minutes saw Ireland battle both the Argentinian defence and the clock.
Wood, Keith Wood, he's a yard short. Tierney ripping it for Wallace, he can't get there. They're battering the line. And the referee has blown for the end of the match. And amazing scenes in loss. Argentina have made the quarterfinals of the World Cup for the first time in their history.
Argentina never so high, Ireland never so low. But Irish pain in 1999 couldn't come close to the agony the Welsh faced 8 years earlier. They were at home in Cardiff Arms Park, facing the might of Western Samoa, mightier than anyone had envisaged.
Bayanga going through. Jones and Lewis going back. Who gets the touch? The try is awarded. The first try of the game, and dramatically in the opening seconds of the second half.
Back in 1991, there was no video ref to help with a controversial call, and the Welsh had a mountain to climb.
Here's Ring. Goes for the gap, gives it to Ian Evans, he's in for the try.
Evans' late try, not enough. Samoa had won, and Wales exited the competition at the group stage.
And that's it, the final whistle. What a dramatic victory then. And the shock of the competition so far, the first major shock. The final score here at Cardiff Arms Park, Wales 13, Western Samoa 16.
By 1999, Cardiff Arms Park had been replaced by the Millennium Stadium, and Wales were ready to wreak revenge on the South Pacific Islanders. It certainly started well. This was the day that Neil Jenkins broke the world record for international point scoring.
Makes no mistake. Neil Jenkins, number 1, 913 points in his international career, beats the world record held by Michael Reiner.
More joy followed soon after.
Taylor, lovely pass to Howard. Gareth Thomas has to do it all himself to begin with. The decision is the try.
Before it all went horribly wrong. 3 tries the Welsh scored, and Samoa ran in 5.
Bishop. And Samoa's man of the day has brought them back into this game once more. Howard is steaming up from fullback. Winnell couldn't get to him, and Bishop can now go clear. Stephen Bishop is going to get his second score, and Samoa have taken a dramatic lead as we come up to half-time. What a game. Lima out wide to Lam. Takes the ball beautifully to Brian Lima, pops it up. The try.
The Welsh found wanting, and the Samoan lightning bolt had struck twice.
Where is the piece of magic, I wonder? That is it. The end of an amazing tussle. And history has repeated itself. What a tremendous achievement by the Samoans.
The Rugby World Cup has seen some outstanding individual performances. How about the pressure role of the penalty taker?
So Gavin Hastings puts Scotland in front.
Lacroix then. And 3-3 it is. Burke has the chance to give Australia the lead. Over it goes.
Pretty straight, very straight for Quisada.
Every player has games they remember. 4 kickers remember the day they landed 8 penalties. Gavin Hastings did it for Scotland against Tonga in '95. Thierry Lacroix of France versus Ireland in the same year. Matt Burke landed 8 in the '99 semi, while Gonzalo Quisada did the same against Samoa.
This time he makes no mistake. He's kicked 8 out of 9.
Again, it looks close. Oh, absolutely magnificent.
Extra time here in this World Cup semi-final. It's long enough. Wonderful kick from Burke.
Quisada, however, the only one who kicked 8 from 8.
Is it long enough? Is it high enough? The answer to both is yes.
Japan's resident Kiwi, Andy Miller, had the record books rewritten with this effort.
Drop goal from halfway. Oh, it is over! In fact, I think it was the other side of halfway. It was.
From all of 52 metres to be exact, a superb individual effort. Zinzan Brooks' drop goal against England in 1995 was not quite from that distance, but not bad for a number 8.
Zinzan Brook with a drop goal. Is that there? That's a magnificent kick. Well, can you believe it? Watch the man on the run. He just struck it so well.
But the king of the drop goals is Yanni de Beer. His drop goal demolition of England in 1999 is perhaps the most impressive of all kicking records.
Over it goes. Back they come to the right. De Beer's got the distance. Over it goes again. And De Beer 2 killer blows in the space of a couple of minutes. And back to De Beer. This will be his 3rd attempt at the drop goal. And my goodness, he's done it. De Beer killing England with his boot. Back to De Beer. And De Beer does it again. 4 drop goals. De Beer again with a drop goal. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Absolutely incredible. A 5th drop goal. He's not just broken the world record, he's smashed it to smithereens.
And De Beer's day just kept getting better.
De Beer, goodness me, I thought he was going to try another drop goal from there. This time hoists it wide. Oh, and the bounce is perfect for Peter Rousseau. Everything goes right for South Africa.
Well, I'm going to ask Yanni De Beer to buy my lottery tickets, that's for sure.
Michael Jones never scored a drop goal in the World Cup, but he scored the first individual try of the 1987 competition.
And there's the first try. Michael Jones in support. A beautiful try for New Zealand. Superb try for Michael Jones.
And just for good measure, he also scored the very first try of the 1991 competition. Might this be the most rewarding try in history? Tim Horan's effort in 2003 against Romania.
Over for the first try of the night, Tim Horan, survivor from 1991. Just the start the Wallabies were asking for, the start that Romania dreaded.
A try taking just 1 minute 31 seconds, scored at such a pace it earned him a year's supply of beer. I hope he shared the prize. Sometimes a great performance on the field can have repercussions off it. In 1995, the new Rainbow Nation were facing Samoa in the quarter-final. This match had implications that surpassed the realms of rugby, and it was all down to the man they called the Black Pearl.
Chester Williams will score!
It was quite tough to represent the country as a black man, you know, you had to prove yourself all the time, but you know, those days are gone.
The only non-white Springbok in 1995, Williams' display had the most staunch apartheid advocates chanting his name.
There was Ruben Kruger. Chester Williams will score. Try number 2 for Chester Williams. Well, what a remarkable opportunity that has been given this man. Down the line it goes. Ruben Kruger, he's done really well now. He has a chance for Chester Williams. Can Williams get in? Great running by Chester Williams. Hat-trick for him. Chester Williams takes over the scrum half position, and has he scored? Yes, it seems like that try will be credited to Chester Williams.
Times is definitely changing, and people is not looking to you funny anymore. People accept you, and that's one of the greatest things in South Africa that can happen in South Africa. People accept everyone as they are, like they did in after the World Cup 1995.
Williams' 4 tries that day did so much more than sink the Samoans. Some days it just rains tries. It was a black day for the Japanese in Bloemfontein in 1995 as a New Zealand deluge overwhelmed them. "21 tries poured through their defence with only the occasional flash of colour as the Japanese breached the All Black try line. "145-17 was the final score, still a record. 6 tries came from All Black winger Mark Ellis. That's still a record too. Australia only racked up 142 points against Namibia in 2003, but they did manage 22 tries. That's one more than the All Blacks, and a record that might never be beaten. The 1987 semi-final between France and Australia is a match of legend. The unpredictable French with the ability to beat and be beaten by anyone on their day. Their performance against a potent Wallaby team was more of a vintage Les Bleus as opposed to a cheap plonk. After the Michael Lynagh boot gave his side the initiative, the French found their rhythm with tries first from Alain Laurier, then Philippe Sella. With France in the lead, 10-9, the Aussies came back, courtesy of David Campese. France replied, Patrice Legisquet fizzing down the wing to regain the lead for his side. And with only minutes to go, the Concord Oval thought David Cody had scored the winner until one of the best tries in World Cup history.
Blanco. Legisquet on the first bounce. Blanco says to kick it downfield. Campese's back there. This is dangerous with the ball bouncing around. Oh, what a horrible mix-up. France could score. Who's there? Pascal Ondar. Now they set it to Rodriguez. Charvet. Tackled by Campese. Berbizier. Look at this. Legisquet, the fastest man on the field. Blanco's outside. Michael Leiter couldn't pick it up. Rodriguez. Blanco for the corner. I think he's there. And that surely is the try that has put France into the World Cup final.
And it was. But the 1987 Eden Park final against New Zealand was a different prospect altogether, for destiny lay with the team of the tournament.
If you'd have picked a World 15 out of that side, there, you know, maybe close to half of them would have gotten a World 15, and I think that's why, you know, we were able to dominate, I guess, the world rugby scene at the time, because we had those world-class players.
Just have been part of that particular team at that particular time, playing with some of the best players I was ever to play with, and they were all at the peak of their careers. And just the mood of the nation, we were able to really connect to it. We were very much the people's team. To be part of that, and then obviously to just go on and win the World Cup, playing wonderful rugby right through, it was just, yes, something I'll always cherish.
Legisquet and Kerwin. Oh, there's 7 black shirts there. Jones. Try by Michael Jones.
Jones played his part scoring the first try, as did Sean Fitzpatrick. His record of 17 World Cup games was originally thanks to an injury suffered by captain Andy Dalton. Dalton regained fitness, but not his place.
Jones came up the line there to make the jump. Now that's unusual. Taylor now. Stanley again. He's gone for the crash ball all day. Kirk. Fox. Jones. Kirk. David Kirk.
Acting captain David Kirk put in a performance worthy of his title, and as the French management plotted a comeback, the Kiwis put the game out of sight.
The game's not over yet. Kirk's back in the play. And through! Oh, it took a strong blow. Kerwin. Oh, I don't believe it! Kirk has scored. Kerwin has scored.
Kerwin at his best, and Fox continued to do what he does best.
Well, it might be Coq au vin on the menu tonight if Fox can land this goal.
Fox setting a tournament points record of 126 that still stands today. New Zealand the victors 29-9 and rightful champions of the inaugural World Cup.
First and foremost, I would like to thank a very dedicated and determined squad of 26 New Zealanders selected a month ago with only one thing in mind: to win the World Cup. Finally, I'd like to thank you, New Zealand. Without you, it would have been much harder. Thank you all for everything you've done for us, the way you've carried us when it got tough. Thank you, thank you.
It's almost unbelievable the All Blacks haven't won since. The Kiwis were expected to emerge victorious from the 1991 semi-final at Lansdowne Road. 14 Australians faced up to the New Zealand haka. The 15th Wallaby was paying no attention. His name is David Campese, and this was Campo's World Cup.
Jones. Campese. David Campese. David Campese all the way. A great try from the leading try scorer in World Rugby. David Campese came across and simply skated through the All Black defence. Michael Jones there, the All Black flanker, who of course can't play today because it's a Sunday.
The All Blacks missing their star player Michael Jones, and Campese ensured it cost them dear.
Line up, chip ahead, Horan's going to chase that, so's Campese. Campese gets it in his hands, Campese! David Campese dodging both ways and feeding Tim Horan. Horan to score! Tim Horan scores for Australia, a marvellous try, and it all came from that man David Campese yet again. Oh, what a beautiful pass to Tim Horan and a super try for Australia.
The Aussies got the better of the All Blacks 16-6. Campese's performance now resides in World Cup folklore.
It's amazing. Over here he just plays his best rugby. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the fact that everyone gets behind him. Everyone says what a great player he is, and you know, that really lifts him. He's a confidence player, and over here he plays with tremendous confidence, and we're lucky for it.
In '95, the build-up to it, we only seen little bits and pieces of Jonah. The rest of the team was a pretty formidable side in itself. So, you know, we thought, I think, we had that self-belief that we had done enough to make sure that we could contain him and make sure he didn't get any space. But in hindsight, we never got around to doing it.
In the 1995 semi-final, England were introduced to a winger of gargantuan proportions.
This is the big man, Lomu. He's still on his feet. Lomu could score. That's a great try for New Zealand. Huge pass on the outside to Osborne. This is Lomu again. Lomu is through. Well, Rob Andrew was brushed aside by the big man. And the England nightmare comes in the form of that huge left wing for New Zealand.
Imagine a 6'7", 19.5 stone winger who could run 100 metres in 10.89 seconds. England faced that in 1995, the 20-year-old Jonah Lomu. This game contributing to his 7 tries in the 1995 World Cup. It is small wonder that he was named the 1995 Player of the Tournament. England were brave, but their efforts completely futile. They had come up against a player who was not only frightening to tackle, but frightening when he was dishing them out as well.
Time and space again for both Bishop and Mertens. This is Lomu and Walter Little. Josh Kronfeld. Here's another chance for the big man. He's going to score in the corner. That's a hat-trick of tries for Jonah Lomu. Pick up in the back by Richards, and then Morris going on the inside. But the ball's been taken away now. Here's another chance for Lomu. Can Lomu get past Michael Catt? The statistics say he's going to score his 4th try in almost the easiest of fashion.
The New Zealand triumph owed much to the formidable winger Jonah Lomu, who'd created more than a ripple in the rugby world. By the end of the following World Cup, Lomu had scored an unprecedented total of 15 tries. This humble giant of a man was made for rugby, but had no idea of the media scrum that would gather around him in the aftermath to this game. For from this game, the first worldwide rugby superstar had been born.
So the South Africans and the Australians take the field.
The 1999 semi-final between South Africa and Australia was less of a foregone conclusion. Having dismantled England in the quarters with his 5 drop goals, the Springboks thought they'd try the De Beer tactic again, with less successful results.
De Beer up, another drop, another miss. De Beer with a drop again. Well wide. And the boos ringing round the ground. It's obvious what the South African game plan is. And the crowd are beginning to think this is pretty negative.
The 1999 player of the tournament, Tim Horan, led the Wallaby attack, Breaking tackles and making darting runs, his efforts yielded the penalties, and Matt Burke yielded the points.
Beautifully struck.
But South Africa had their own kicking maestro, and it wasn't long before he found his groove.
De Beer. Now he's on target.
And despite Horan suffering from a bug that had laid him low, the Aussie centre continued to be the thorn in the Springboks side, and Burke the champion of the Wallaby points tally.
Australia back in the lead.
Then with 3 minutes to go and 6 points adrift, De Beer gave hope to the sinking Springboks.
We're coming into the final minute on the clock. South Africa back to within 3 points.
De Beer struck again.
Hits it. He's got it! A sensational kick. And Yanni De Beer's nerve held. And we go into extra time.
First blood in extra time.
Oh, and it crept in. But South Africa take the lead as the rain comes sluicing down.
With Burke having equalised came the best kick of all.
Regan. Drop goal from Larkham. Could you believe it? Larkham has De Beer. A fantastic opportunist drop goal.
And Burke added his 8th penalty, taking his points tally to 24.
It's long enough. Wonderful kick from Burke. And again, Australia have a 6-point lead.
Great disappointment today in the first Springbok loss in a World Cup. If there was a difference between the two sides today, where do you think it was?
I think one drop goal against us.
Cardiff's Millennium Stadium, the Matt Burke boot was on hand to win the 1999 final. He racked up 25 points against a lacklustre French side.
Over it goes, and the World Cup almost within Australia's grasp.
And once the game was won, came the tries.
Larkham wide to Horan. Benazzi gets hold of him, or does he? No, he doesn't. That's Finnegan. Back inside to Horan again. Good continuity now from the Australians, almost clear Matt Burke. Driving on, now this is really dangerous. Oh, and Gregan looking the wrong way, then going himself. Horan, Finnegan. Try in the corner. I think it's Ben Tune who got over. John Eales comes up with it, the second attempt. Lovely inside pass. Gregan to Finnegan. Go for the line, man. And he gets there. For a moment, I thought he was not going to go for it. Incredible.
35-12 the final score. The Australians had waltzed to their second World Cup title, and as the inspirational captain John Eales raised the trophy, a new benchmark had been set for success in the competition. 83,000 spectators packed the Telstra Stadium in Sydney for the 2003 World Cup final between Australia and England. Like all games between the two countries, the media hype beforehand was rife, and the pressure was on favourites England to fulfil the expectations of a nation desperate for World Cup glory. But after 6 minutes, it wasn't the English in the lead.
Here comes Takiri. He's only got to take it. Lottie! Touchdown Australia!
A physical game where both sides defended their territory with unbridled passion. And England's wonder boy Wilkinson edged his side into the lead with his customary kicking performance. The 2003 player of the tournament then gave the killer pass to England's finest finisher.
They won't catch him! Jason Robertson!
With 3 points the difference, the Wallabies penalty taker also showed some world-class nerve.
We go into the final minute. flatly, has the chance to level things up. He's got it.
Into extra time, and there was no sign of the commitment in the first 80 minutes subsiding. White and gold continued to batter each other as if lives depended on it. Another 3 points each added to the scoreboard. And then in the 100th minute came Wilco's moment of glory on his least favoured foot.
Johnny Wilkinson, he's got it! It's over at last of the fourth attempt. Johnny Wilkinson is on target. England in the lead with only 20 seconds to go.
The score, 2017. England had won the Rugby World Cup for the first time in their history. Johnny Wilkinson got the plaudits, but it was the best English squad ever assembled, led by arguably England's best ever captain in Martin Johnson. And as he raised Bill above his head, the elation told its own story. The 1999 semi-final matched France's finesse with the All Blacks' brawn. Having blown away all preceding opposition, the game was viewed as a no contest in favour of the Kiwis. The French, on the other hand, were struggling for form, having scraped into the Twickenham fixture via a favourable draw. But for both teams, nothing is ever a given.
Lovely break from Dominici, he's got real pace. Lovely running from Dominici. Caught just a metre short. And the French will win this one quickly. They've got men over. Over goes Ramazan, a glorious score. Great rugby from the French. Danger here, Cullen flips on to Lomu. Lomu steps outside. Cuts inside. He's still not down. He's over. And Lomu breaks the deadlock for the All Blacks. Regains the lead for them. And France look frightened.
Back it goes to La Maison. Wilson right underneath it. This is dangerous. He's got Umunga and Lomu. This time, though, they go for the option back to Wilson. Back inside to Lomu. Pass one, pass two. Here he goes again. Bundling them off, and the big man is over for his second try.
And as Merton's conversion sailed over, things looked bleak for Les Bleus.
Over goes the kick, and New Zealand have opened a gap. 24-10, they lead.
But you never can tell with the French. Their certain je ne sais quoi can pop up at any time, and the rugby world will never forget the second half of this semi.
Back it goes to La Maison. Over it goes, and that's the full set for La Maison in this match. Try, conversion, penalty, drop goal. Back it goes to La Maison again. Over goes another drop goal. And France suddenly taking the game again to New Zealand.
And after the drop goals came the tries, each one simply magnifique.
Dominici, he's going to go in. Dominici scores for France. They take the lead. They're only 5 metres short. Back it comes. La Maison chips over and through it. Dort is there for the try. Richard Dort scores again for France.
It wasn't just in attack where the French dominated. The blue wall was impregnable, and the harder the Kiwis tried, the harder the French defended their lines. Until finally the All Blacks cracked.
Hacked away by Magna. He and Bernard Sall are after it. Magna chases on. Wilson's got a hell of a lot to do. He hasn't done it. Bernard Sall The try is given. Bernard Sall has surely won this game for France. The game is over. France have beaten the All Blacks, the biggest upset in the whole of Rugby World Cup history.
But the title of the greatest game in Rugby World Cup history belongs to the 1995 final at Ellis Park between South Africa and New Zealand. Not just a triumph for the World Cup, but a triumph for humanity.
To be there in that environment, and I'm sure that even the spectators that were there thought it was an unbelievable environment to be in. To have the Mandela factor, to see him walking onto the stadium with Francois' jersey on, and to hear 72,000 people start chanting Mandela, Mandela. And then there's 15 of us there looking, thinking, God, how are we ever going to beat these buggers?
Again, New Zealand the favourites for the trophy, against a Springbok side that were ranked 10th at the start of the competition. But their success had galvanised a nation fraught with divisions. Winning this game would change South Africa forever.
As he swung that through, yes, Mertens first blood to New Zealand.
Kicks from Mertens and Stransky cancelled each other out.
Crowd will tell you if it's over.
And a brave Springbok defence led by scrum half Joos van der Westhuizen neutralised the threat posed by the inimitable left wing Lomu. And Stransky's boot remained true to the course.
Stransky's got lots of time. Can he get it straight? Yes, he's got it. South Africa go into the lead for the first time in the match.
But the All Blacks were not all about Lomu, and the Kiwis continued to defy the Ellis Park pressure.
Once again, New Zealand deciding to go left, but this is Mertens' drop. It's there.
So the score's absolutely level. Each side has a drop. Each side has 2 penalties, and it certainly couldn't be more even.
And a Mertens nightmare kept the game on an even keel.
This is Mertens again. Has he got this drop goal? No, it swung wide.
Well, he won't be pleased about that. He got the 1 drop goal, but he's missed 3. He would, of course, been a hero if it had gone over.
Into extra time, and the game was begging for a moment of individual brilliance. Both sides fraught with nerves and exhaustion. Where it was to come from was anybody's guess. Then, after a penalty each and 12 points each, the moment finally arrived.
Stransky looks for the drop. Has he got it? Yes, it's over. Stransky's drop number 2 in the match, and South Africa are in the lead. 15 points to 12.
For 7 agonising minutes, the Springboks gave everything they had. And under Nelson Mandela's watchful eye, they got their reward.
That is it. The final whistle then. South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12. And what a dramatic finish for the host country.
A divided country united by the World Cup. Winning the competition meant much more to South Africa than any nation before. Victory in this epic encounter meant a victory for equality and political change in South Africa. Francois Pienaar lifted the trophy, the greatest moment in Rugby World Cup history.